Sanskrit is divided into 3 tenses, as is any language: past, present, and future. As the book progresses, each chapter is going to keep on adding new tenses like, future passive participle, and the optative, and the present passive participle. And you're going to be like, there's so many of these grammatical terms, right? Where do they belong? Are they in the past? Are they in the present, or in the future? To avoid this confusion, what I've done is created a table whereby it is split into first column going down. And this will tell us the grammatical name of what we are dealing with. For example, present indicative. In Sanskrit, it is called lat. Okay, lat. So that's Sanskrit name. We learned this in lesson 3 of volume 1. And a little description: action is done now. Ending can be either Atmanepada or Panasmapada. Example: man goes. Then equivalent: Naraha gachati. Boy speaks. Balaha bhashate. Okay. So this gives you an instant preview. What am I dealing with? Okay, let's move on. Present passive. We just learned that in lesson 20. The Sanskrit name is Karmani Prayoga. Okay, there it is. And the shorthand will be passive. This is how I put it in my dictionary: passive. Makes sense if imagine is being read, is being said, is being this, as in happening right now. That's why I put the word being, just to remind you it's happening in the present. Because this ed usually confuses us. We think, oh, it's happening in the past, but it's happening right now in the present. Root plus ya plus atmanepada. This is going to instantly give you what you're dealing with, how to construct. Example: book is read by the boy. Pustakam balena, by the boy. Patyate. So this patyate, right? Shruyate, uchyate. How about the last one's nice? Or how about this one in the middle? Scripture is heard by steady minds. Shrutihi, shastraha, no, shastram. Nishchala manobhihi. Manobhihi, that's instrumental, obviously, plural. Nishchala, that means steady. Shruyate. Okay, so you get the idea. This is an instant preview of what you're dealing with to prevent overwhelm of these cases. Imperative, lesson 19. Shorthand, impiva in your dictionary. Sanskrit, lot. Command, emperor, he, she, must, ought to. Melanie, you said should last time. Do not use the word should, because when we get to the future, when we get to another case in the future in this book, there will be a should. So I do not want you to mix should with imperatives, please. With imperatives, stick with must or ought to. He, she, it must go. Okay, negated with ma. So this gives you an instant, absolute information that you need to know right here. Atmanepada or atprasmepada. You must go to the forest. Tvam vanam gacha. You must ask about eternal knowledge. See how there's an exclamation mark? That means you must. Nityam vedam pracha. Okay, you must ask about eternal, this is an adjective, knowledge, vedam. Now, that was the present. How about past? So far, we have learned gerund. So gerund, you put in the past tense. Indicates prior completed action, having seen or after seeing. It is an indeclinable, and instant preview tells us root plus toi. Or if there's a prefix, then you go root plus ya, or if it's a feminine, then ya. Just put a ya at the end. Having abandoned the fire, agnim hitwa. Okay, instant preview. Imperfect, lan in Sanskrit, lesson 15. Imp, shorthand. Event happening in the past. A plus stem plus atmane or parasmaipada. The boy read the book. Balaha pustakam, accusative. A plus stem plus ending. Apathat. Okay, and then future. Simple future we have learned so far. S foot in the dictionary. Lirt in Sanskrit, and L 17, lesson 17 of the book. Stating event in the future, it is more common than P foot. See how this is an S foot? What's pivot? Well, that means we haven't learned about pivot yet. How to construct guna of the root. You just get the idea what that means. Plus sya or ishya. Plus atmane or parasmane. I will read the book. Pustakam patishyami. Okay, there's that ishya. So this is your best friend for the entire Sanskrit career. And this table will keep on building up as we keep on going through volume 2. The book has remaining theory about passive. So we're now going back into passive, and there are some rules that you need to know. What you're about to hear is going to be more theory. However, if you're overwhelmed, just go back to kindergarten and just remember this. Dog bites the man, man is bitten by the dog. That's the principle of passive construction. How to identify a passive construction. It's always going to have a ya and an e at the end. That's it. So whenever you see a verb that has a ya plus e at the end, that equals passive every time. That's kindergarten. That means overwhelmed, resort back. Now, Panini grammar regarding passive. So this is the notes in the book. I've just colorized it. So there are several ways to say something. And the first way is called the active construction. And we learned this in lesson 4 of the last volume. The boy reads the book. The boy is the kartar, the agent of the action, and the book is the object of the action, karman. These are the Sanskrit terms, just so that you don't go, one day he never told us Sanskrit. Balha pustakam patati. Okay, simple. Boy reads the book. Yeah, cool. So subject is actively doing the verb. We already know that, right? The subject is actively doing the verb onto the poor accusative thing. So I call it accusative. It's a victim of the action. The next way to say a thing is through a passive construction. Karmani prayoga, lesson 20. This is basically passive. Book is read by the boy. Okay, so we have the coloring will make sense. So pustaka, see this book? This is actually a nominative. Why? Because the book is read by the boy. So by the boy, it sounds like by the boy should be nominative in a sense. However, as I said already, the by the boy will be accusative, but it's instrumental. So look at this instrumental accusative. So book is read by the boy. Okay, so subject is the passive. In other words, the subject is not doing, the verb is done onto it. In other words, passive equals the following. The subject's just chilling out, not doing anything. And the verb is being done onto the subject. Finally, abstract construction. Now, in English, we say I'm going, right? I'm going. In Sanskrit, we say that differently. We say it is gone by me. By me, maya gamyate. Gamyate means it is gone. He, she, or it is gone. So he, she, or it is gone by me. Subject is receiving the action. Okay, so book is read. So that means the book, there is an action done onto the book. The book's just chilling out, not doing anything. So the subject is passive, just sitting idle, and the verb is done onto the subject. That's the idea. For example, scarf is made by my grandma. Okay, so the scarf is relaxing and it's being made by my grandma. And finally, that's the add a silent is being, helps to remind that it's in the present tense. So is being read, is being witnessed, is being seen. Passive verb can be without an instrumental. Okay, so you don't have to use instrumental always. Example, when eternal knowledge is abandoned, then truth is not understood. Okay, without looking at the sentence, when eternal knowledge is abandoned, someone give me a possible interpretation of that. eternal knowledge. Nityam.
Nitya Jnanam.
Yep. Yada.
Jnanam. Yada Nitya Jnanam Tyajyate.
Good. Tada. Truth is not understood.
Then truth is not.
Tada.
Tada Satyam.
Na.
Na
Na
or ma.
vidyate.
Na bodhyate.
Na bodhyate.
Good. How formed? Root of all 10 classes. So no matter if the root is class 5 or 8 or 9 or class 10 or class 1, it doesn't matter. Take the root plus ya plus atmanepada. That is it. Gam ya te. Pat ya te. Okay. No matter what class, you just put ya plus atmanepada end. Final r. After one consonant becomes ri. So there should be one consonant after r. Example. See, there's one consonant only. Becomes ri. Therefore, kriyate. If this r is after two consonants, then this r becomes ar. There it is. One consonant, two consonants. Okay. So this becomes ar. Smaryate is remembered. Rule 4. Some roots undergo samprasarana. This is an important term. Samprasarana in any Sanskrit course means basically va changes into u or u, ya changes into I or ra changes into r or r. For example, va, see this va? We just said va changes into u or u. Therefore, udyate. Now you know why it's udyate, right? From va into u. Va again, it's going to change into u. Uchyate is said. Va again, ushyate is lived. Ya, there it is. Ya changes into I or E. Therefore, jiyate. Roots, last 10, which add aya. The only roots that add aya, which are class 10. We already discussed that in the previous exercise. Lose the aya before adding the ya. Chintaya, right? We know that much. Chintaya. So you know ya. Okay, we already know you need to add the ya for the passive. So you need to get rid of the aya and then put the ya. So in between there is an aya, and we need to remove that aya and then add the ya. Chintyate. Some examples.
Yada yogi vane tapaha karoti. Since or if yogi in the forest is doing tapaha.
Excellent.
Tada sa bandhat muchyate. Then he is from the bandhat is from the
bondage, from bondage.
Bondages. Muchyate is freed.
Good.
Is being freed.
Is being released.